Testing, 1, 2, mic check. I think that was a little bit too loud. Not sure what is going on in this lobby. Shows as a full recording in PAF TV. Does it? Okay, it's just wildly laggy. What the hell is going on? What the? I've never seen this one. What the hell? Sorry, I'm trying to cast this, but it doesn't look like it's a normal recording from PAF TV. Okay, now it's doing things. So maybe we are actually there. Is it streamable? There was some lag there, but maybe now. Yep, Aeon finds out, hey, I can shoot Mr. Iron now. But Nicer Dicer has the drop on him, doesn't let him plant, and it's now a 1v1 against Sack. And by the way, welcome. This is not a live recording, this is an actual recording of the game, and while you hear the gunfire, I shall do some additional setup. It's more like an improv thing, really. I haven't casted in a while, and I felt like casting. And also, I got asked. Yeah, so we're doing this now. We're doing it live, as a certain American broadcaster said, which is ironic because it's actually not live. Yeah, so hopefully I can do a good job on that one. Let me just post some links so that people are in the know, and then we can actually get into the cast. I already know the results, kinda, in that sense that I'm a very old man, so I saw them, but then I immediately forgot them again, so I don't actually know who won. I just know that it was close games, so that further enticed me to stream and cast. So yeah, let me know how the thing is looking, how the thing is sounding. No, I'm not bad at casting, which is quite interesting because I'm also very bad at shooting, but just have to deal with it. Worst of all, I don't have anything set up for dust, so we're just gonna have to fly around a bit, which I usually do anyways. And also flying around is Sack's face because it's getting sort of shot off. Not shot off is Cutie Cat, who just decides, hey, Clips, I don't realize, you know, you don't realize, but I don't like when you shoot at me, so I'm just gonna shoot you. But CG, on the other hand, did not agree with that philosophy, killed Cutie Cat in mid, and now the bomb is planted. This is a very good save round for the Cats. Lucky Round is in the lead 1-0, but they have to do a retake now. 3v2 absolutely doable, but the clock is ticking. Aeon is trying to get into a better position, but Mr. Iron could get the drop on him. He does indeed. He does get Aeon. And he loses against Cube, but now Cube is just getting rushed. So Lucky Round does manage to win another round, but they took some casualties. Unfortunately for Cat, Lucky Round will be able to pick up all the guns they need, so they didn't really have economical damage. But still, it is good for morale, and it's also good to make some money planting the bomb. Right, let me just do some additional stuff here on my second PC, so I can actually look at the chat while streaming. Look at me, I'm the caster now. Yeah, so the reason we're late is because I played a game myself. This might happen from time to time where I'm actually rostered and have to play, so then obviously I cannot cast. But with a little bit of luck, the games were still in the buffer, so we will still be able to catch them, so I should be able to cast this set, hopefully. It could be that, you know, it will be deleted, but it looks good so far. Also looking good is this Cat setup. They are pressuring the mid, smoking off CG now in a short catwalk, peeking wide. Cube could catch him off guard with a nice swing. We'll see if that happens. It does. He immediately loses his head, saying, hey, that's an enemy, and I'm dead. And so he was. Pixel, interestingly enough, after having his teammate shot in a short, decides to go to mid. Mr. Iron's back is now completely exposed. He is fighting with A-Long, but he's about to find out that on A side, actually, the enemy is present. He's pretty unfazed by that until he's dead, leaving just Pixel and Nicer Dicer Zach, with the trademark aggression, just drops into CT and dices a nicer dicer, leaving just Pixel who gets mowed down. I really don't understand what that was moving into mid instead of helping on the A side after having lost A short. Because you have to know, Dust 2 is basically catwalk simulator. It's all about them catwalks, and that's all that is happening. Alright, so now I can actually see my own stream, which I guess is considered viewbotting. You can call the police, but nobody has my real address. And yeah, I can also read chat while doing that. Both teams are setting up again, this time lucky round on a save. We're seeing a bunch of Deagles and a Bison. Everybody's favorite, Clips trying to get a pick here in mid, spamming his Deagle, but then being shot by an M4, severely outgunned. Nicer dicer on the intel hunt in the tunnel, realizing, hey, nobody's freaking here. I wanted to sell my knife. Please, somebody is very sharp. I need to give it to you. But there's no takers. So he has to walk all the way out. Zach heard him, I believe. Just standing there in the smoke. There's a very dangerous thing. Good thing Nicer doesn't expect it. Shanks him anyways. Did not care about that one. Zach was not being backed up with brethren. Aeon, however, did not appreciate that. Clips picking up that AK. Aeon has to be careful. Probably knows there's somebody. Yes, and delete Clips. A bomb goes down after the round was already won, so no money for that, but another win, which is arguably the more important thing at this stage of the game, I would say, than getting that extra money. Cash-wise, the Cats are quite rich. Dollar bill on the lucky round side. They are not so lucky, scraping the bottom of the barrel in terms of funds. They can probably still afford 1 meal each, except for Sichi, who has to hope there will be some leftovers. I don't know what I'm saying. I only know that Cats are returning to their tried and tested mid push, it seems, where they go towards the Cat. And we still have Clips in the mid. Mr. Iron now feeling adventurous, being spotted by Cutie Cat. She probably sings the song of her people before she shoots him. So we don't know if she sang her song, but she did shoot him. She's now about to find out that is not a good spot to try to take that fight. Aeon mows him down, leaving just Pixel and Goose. What does he have? He has an M4. Admiring that Goose, saying something in Arabic. I wish I knew what that means, but Pixel is probably more focused on the fact that multiple people are shooting on him. He's still picking them, even though he only has 1 HP at this point. We still have Clips in CT, so they now have basically B control, and I think they realize this. Aeon keeps the pressure up by shooting just short bursts from A short. But now they are walking in there. Hopefully there won't be any team killing accidents. But if they can plant the bomb, and I believe one of Cube has it. Yes, Cube has it attached to his back, which I always wanted to know. But before we talk about that, Cutie Cat got killed by Clips. Clips now realizing, oh shit, I actually went over there. But he makes up for that by just killing people. Now turning this into an absolutely winnable 2v2 situation. And trying the retake from the mid. Aeon needs to back up his brethren here in a short amount of time. And it looks like the friends are going to play squad, which is most unfortunate, because I also kind of wanted to play squad, but I also kind of wanted to cast this game. Clips now in a pretty difficult position, especially since he's getting flashed now. He's behind the car, the bomb is ticking, and people are shooting at him. That is something that you usually experience on a Monday morning, but Clips found out it was actually Wednesday and was still happening to him. So this is now a 2-3 situation. The Cats are in the lead. Can they further extend the lead? It looks like Lucky Round will have to do another save. We are seeing a bunch of Deagles coming out. Let's see how that goes for them. And do let me know about stream quality and such. If there's any issue or stuff is too loud. I haven't cast it in quite a while, so I don't know what the fuck is going on really. But from my end, looks rather okay. We're seeing the triple stack again. Zach pushing out of tunnels, doing a short sort of peek into mid, then falling back. Cutie Cat just waiting on Mr. Iron's aggression, but this time I believe Mr. Iron doesn't really have a gun. Yeah, he probably holds a knife, so he's not going to try to push that. And CG is ratting in the corner. We shall see if this works for him, if they check it. So far they have not, but now they have, and yeah, it's a brain on the wall time for him. Pixel on the blue spot again, but so too he falls, not before taking out Shrub with a beautiful headshot. That is what you want to see and what you want to do when you buy that deagle. But now they have A side, leaving just nicer dicer and clips in mid, which is a really hard spot to retake if the enemy controls short and mid. So we will see. I think they are trying to challenge mid and try to get into short, which is the usual route. But if Zac is just patiently waiting there, he can get a kill and then fall off, as he should, as he's very low. He will die to one deagle shot, so he shouldn't take that fight or stick around to find out if there's still an enemy there. Clips hesitant, but then takes the shot, kills Zac, and as a reward gets the enemy's AK, which is always nice. See a lot of squad talk in my chat. Not sure what it's about. I've been accused of being in a car. This is absolutely not true. I resent the accusation. I'm an infantryman first and foremost. Alright, 2-4 for the Cats. It is working out quite well for them. They have built up a nice amount of money. Hopefully they'll bring some of that away for tougher times. On the lucky round side, they now are able to buy. Isodels are getting tagged. I think there was a grenade at the start. I'm not sure, I missed that. It looks like the same setup again, and why not have been working for them? It looks like they are swapping positions now. We have Mr. Iron aggressive on the A short, and Sichi now playing long on the car. Mr. Iron also finding out that Aeon still can kill him on the catwalk, and so he does. But now it turns out we have a little bit of a stalemate here. I wouldn't say a Mexican standoff, because this is clearly not Mexico. I know this much. But we have a 5v3 situation, and it looks like the Cat's rotating towards the B side. Isa Darsa saying, I'm still here, you cannot get me out of this side. He's just hiding behind the barrels, peeking with his AK. Holding his position. Doesn't look like the rest of the lucky round is rotating on this one, and Cats are walking towards mid tunnels. Maybe they're expecting the rest of lucky round to rotate. They could easily take the side if they would do so as a group, but they're probably not expecting that there's still two members on A. Aeon again kills CG. It seems to be a favorite pastime of his, leaving just Pixel and Goose, who is probably sick and tired at this point and dying on the spot. Gets pre-fired by Cube, who shoots all the bullets. They still have 10 seconds, so that should be enough to do the plant, but it's quite short, leaving just Nicer Dicer on the retake. He probably has to play this as they desperately need some wins. Probably shouldn't save, even though his eco is quite low. This is the current scoreboard. Oh, and oh no, somebody from Lucky Round dropped. Hopefully that person can reconnect, I believe. If I had a brain, then I could remember, but I don't have a brain. But regardless, if he can reconnect, then he should have all the money he needs, as his team will be able to drop him guns. They're so rich. Aeon now reaching the limit. The rest of the team also very rich. Again, they have to play one more round at least. I mean, they have to play many more rounds, and this time it looks like Aeon is kind of stuck in spawn. He still hasn't bought. Hopefully he can still buy. Yes, he can. So he's buying his M4. And yeah, we have similar setup as before, but with one less player. They only have two in sort of mid A short. That nade bounces over and sort of tips Nicer Dicer on the head. He loses a little bit of HP, but not a whole lot. Still good nade, I guess. Now we can return. They probably should play it slow, so they have another round where they have the money and their teammate can reconnect. This is probably what they're doing, just holding angles, hoping that the rest of Lucky Round maybe gets aggressive. They can get a pick and go from there. But maybe they grew tired of this tactic, because now they all walk into A long. Cube checking the corners, about to be found by CG. Whoa, but Cube is not having any of that. He just turns around and shoots CG in the face. Pixel now taking the range fine, but leaving a lot of blood on the wall. And they are now assaulting A long, killing Pixel in the process, leaving just Mr. Iron on catwalk, who strangely enough just walks off probably the best defensible position. It was Enrico was missing, who now reconnected, so no big deal. The bomb is being planted. Mr. Iron not aware that you can pen those boxes. This is a 3v3 situation, totally winnable for the Cats. Killing Dicer in the pit is a very important pick for them, as they now have control and just have to shoot down a short. I believe they spotted both of them. Newton now flying off. A lot of bullets being fired through pennable surfaces, but not a lot of kills, and the util is delayed. Now he gets a headshot, pushing off the side, but Shrub shutting that down. Aeon is on the long angle. Clips killing him, but he has to find him. I don't think he knows he's on long, and he doesn't have a lot of time. He also doesn't have clippers, but it doesn't even matter because he got killed. And Zack did drop, that is indeed true, and he got swapped out from Enrico in the process. Maybe his computer crashed, maybe Enrico loaded faster, maybe Enrico DDoSed Zack, you know, just so he could play. We don't know the full story. I hope that our inside man superhero is gonna leak all the juicy details on this story. But for now, we shall continue. It's 2-6, so it's very well going for the Cats. Not in the least going due to Enrico, who is in the lead with 13-3, cleaning up on short. We see Mr. Iron again being aggressive on short. Doesn't get tagged by that nade, strangely enough. I believe it fell onto the floor. Otherwise, it should have at least dealt some damage. What does damage is this beautiful nade from Shrub, who just yeets it over the wall and directly onto Nicer Dicer, who's now just a pancake in mid. Ion winning the fight in mid for a short moment, and Enrico telling everybody, hey, I actually joined the game, look what I can do. Cleaning him up, turning this into a 3v4 situation, excuse me. I don't think Lucky Round realizes exactly what's going on, but to be honest, I don't either. I don't really know what the Cats are doing at this point. Looks like they're still probing, not sure what to do. I believe the bomb is on Shrub. They are now pushing a short for one more time, but we have now two Lucky Round members on site who both fight together and actually manage to take out Aeon. CG walking up past the flashbang, but Shrub on his signature, crouch move just kills him. Pixel now pretty low. I think one shot or close to one shot. Oh, almost got that nade. That nade would have definitely killed if it was a little bit higher. Shrub now killing Pixel with 15 seconds on the clock. The play has to be made now. The bomb has to be planted now. Clips needs to just get there and prevent the plant, but I don't think he can. At least not from that angle. Yes, it's going down. This is a very old Linkin Park song, just for reference. I don't know why I'm bringing this up. And yeah, aside from that, we have Shrub just sitting inside those boxes. And Enrico now and Goose. I'm not sure. I think he spotted Clips. A pretty good smoke grenade. Clips kind of scared that this would kill him, but it's just smoke. Probably not harmless if you, breathe it in. Nate goes over, doesn't really tag Enrico. You have the air flashbang. I feel like that was too high. It didn't probably really flash Clips. Not sure what Clips saving for. This is last round, so absolutely no point in trying to save that one, except for maybe your KD. He's picking up guns, but unfortunately for him, none of those will make it into the next round. Bit of a miscommunication here as he drops to the ground and finding himself now in the T position. 2-7 for the Cats on the halftime. I would say this is a very good result, especially since they had a player drop. So they are really making it work here. And we shall see what is happening. 1 second. Yeah, it looks like a strong A push through A long. Enrico on the card, spotting that early lick cube, getting killed in, I believe, mid to catwalk. Enrico now having to face the wrath of Lucky Round, who have 3 pistols aimed at him versus 1. We have Shrub still outside, not sure why he didn't help his teammates there. He's now completely surrounded by 5 people, finding out that is not a good thing to be leaving just Aeon, who hopefully dies before the knock is done. No, he does not. Now he has to 1v5 them. He's pretty bloody, pretty hurt. Yeah, and you just get killed. Wouldn't really matter if you did, killed a person or two. There's no bonus whatsoever. So that wasn't really helpful. There's even some argument that in such a situation you should shoot yourself before the enemy can plan to hurt the eco in any meaningful way. But of course these extreme measures are reserved to those who are suicidal. And yeah, buy-wise, we only have Clips who plays anti-eco. Rest goes with the AK. They are not saying rush B, they're saying rush A. Enrico finding that out once more, realizing I cannot run fast enough. These bullets will just catch me. He does catch Clips and shoots him in the face, which is most unfortunate for Clips, because he did not make any money with his gun, and he got shot in the face, so he lost his armor as well. We see Shrubby on the lurk spot shooting Dicer in the face, who was quite surprised, then rolled down the hill, because apparently that's what Dicer does on a Wednesday evening. I'm not judging here. We have Cutie Cat alone in the mid against 3. I think she just has a lonely 1911. And we're going into the action camp to see if she can make it work. She's trying the old method of climbing, but it's luckily fixed now. Now she's close to Tichi, who is about to peek her. Almost, I believe. One more shot to the face would have had it, but at least she did some armor damage, made him one shot to anything now, unless he rebuys his armor, which he probably will realistically. Which then again means she did some eco damage. No, it looks like he says, you know what, it's warm. I don't really feel like wearing a helmet, which is fair. The only difference it makes is versus Shrub, who has an M4. The rest of the team wouldn't really care one way or another in terms of helmets. And it looks like it's sort of B-ish push. I can't really say. Pixel also can't say where the hell did that grenade from. It just freaking deleted him. Yeah, he got blown the frick up. Clip's trying to find out what's happening. Detective Clip on the case. Now seeking duel with Enrico. Enrico sees him, wisely backed off as he does not need to fight this one. Mr. Iron kills Cutie Cat, I believe I want to admit. But Cube gets the range on CG. They now have B-side as Aeon moved off, but he still gets Mr. Iron from the mid door. Now it's a 3v2 situation with Clips a little bit out of position. If Cat can go quickly, they can maybe stop the plant, but Nicer Dicer is not even concerned about planting, he just wants kills. And now he goes for it, but it might be too late because Cube is on the spot. He just shoots him down, leaving just Clips. Enrico doesn't need to fight this, had a lot of discipline on A-Long and still has a lot of discipline. I applaud this play. He knows the bomb is down, he knows where the last player is, he knows he does not need to fight this. He can just sit it out, rat it out. We can do the little rat jam, and that is exactly what I do, and you'd love to see it. And while we wait on Clips to sneak up, we can take another look at the scoreboard, sort of having him in view. He's checking all the angles, although he should know where the remaining 2 players are. We have Aeon with the Combani 14-7, followed by Shrub, Cube, Cutie Cat, and Enrico, who just, joined basically towards the last round of the T round, which on a T-sided map is of course where you probably will make the most frags. On the lucky round side, we have Nicer Dicer first, and then Ion, Pixel, Clips, and CG, who so far didn't really have a good game, didn't really work out. A-Short is really the most difficult, maybe not difficult, but definitely the most vulnerable position on this map, I would say, as the enemy aggression focuses a lot on that, and so did on that map. He had to face multiple people most of the time, and of course mostly got killed and punished for it. So still, it is a good game to cast. It's always good to see the league coming back, and in terms of comeback, it has to start now for Lucky Round. They are preparing for B-hit, realizing, yeah, we haven't really gone here. Cutie Cat walking into tunnels, about to find out a whole lot of Lucky Round, realizing, holy shit, that is too much Lucky Round for me. She falls off, sort of walking backwards, then finding a flashbang. She almost made it out of there, but at least she slowed down the enemy and allowed Aeon to frag Dicer before falling. Cube trying flank in the tunnel, but getting flipped by Clips. Aeon bravely defending the side. Clips looks like he's flanking into mid now. That could be devastating, and he manages to kill both of them, and Aeon also founds to Pixel, and that was exactly the round they needed. They didn't really lose anybody. And Mr. I. We can... Ion on Aeon. Yeah, I mean... What do you want me to say? Ion on Dion? Oh, that's also possible. Anyways, yeah, that was a really important round for Lucky Round here, who are now building up a little bit of money and most importantly forcing the cats into an eco round. Looks like they're swinging back to an A. We have multiple people stacking up almost so close. Hopefully they don't team kill each other. Looks like 2 people are slow walking into A long and the rest is walking into a short. Cutie cat firing some shots at that damn wall. Frick that wall in particular. They're just crouch walking here. I believe she can still see that. Clips, I believe, has pulled the grenade. Now throwing it, kind of just there. Pixel also killing Enrico. Shrub again lurking on site. I don't think this has been working out well for Shrub, and I mean, unless his intention was to, you know, have his face on the box, but judging from how sad he sits there, probably not. Turning this into a 1v5 situation. But lucky for Aeon, we have Mr. Iron, who's 2-shot, Clips, who's 1-shot, and technically the last 3 players are also 1-shot. And because, fun fact, everybody is 1-shot to a deagle when you manage to hit the head. Will he do it though? That is the question. Let's go into the action cam. Finding Dicer. Tag 1, tag 2, one more. Clips with the almost whiff there, managed to get him in the end. 6-8, we are very close to the funny number. We shall see if that works out. And yeah, now the cats can buy again. And it looks like a push. Maybe. You see 2 people moving towards the tunnel, and then we have some people towards A long, 1 person mid. I'm not entirely sure what the play is. We see the over flashes, but I don't think we really did anything. This and Pixel walking into A long now. Enrico probably just gonna take some shots and then fall off. No, he decides to not fall off. Decides to nade that thing, which somehow got stuck over there, and I think he's didn't reflect on that counter nade. So basically they're just shooting at stuff at this point. CG loves to shoot at Cube loves to shoot at CG's face, and nicer Dicer and Mr. Iron got killed. Sorry we missed that. I think it was in the tunnels. Maybe a little bit of a sneaky peek there. Bomb got dropped. Maybe Aeon is not aware of it because he's peeking it, but he doesn't care. He just kills Pixel. It's now a 1-shot. Giving just Clips in a 1v5 situation. Bet he didn't think this would turn out that way. He finds Enrico, who he was battling before on A-long, and kills him, but loses a lot of health in the process and gives away his position. So he probably is just saving. Unfortunately for him, this is a very costly development, since last round will then be potentially helping because it's 6-9. Lucky Round does have the money to play another round, so he probably should try to play it, even though it will be impossible, and with just 10 seconds on the clock it will literally be possible unless all the cats shoot themselves, which they would likely not do. Turning this into a funny number. And let's leave the action cam. Looks like a strong B push. Quite surprising to me. I feel like the A push is a lot stronger on this map. They also didn't really check mid for intel. They just want to roll the paint chain onto Aeon, which is an interesting choice considering Aeon has done the most damage this game by far. He's just patient on the headbox, and they don't expect him there, but they trade him out nicely. So they now have control of the site in a 4-2 situation. They just need to plant the bomb. I don't think there's much cats can do versus it, and considering the economy, they probably should be. He almost gets blown up there and then gets shot up. Turban is a 1v4. Shrub, however, doing a little bit of killing, and in return looks like he's trying to go for it. It's very brave, but in a 1v3 situation it's gonna be a really hard retake, especially they clearly heard as to where he is. He does have the clippers, so he doesn't have to immediately push him. But really, this is stacked against him, and he probably shouldn't even try. Maybe he realizes this, as he's just looking for a frag. Pixel about to peek him. No, he just casually picks up a gun, and then walks over there, and Drop runs away. He is scared of the man, and this is understandable because Pixel doesn't appear to have any chill. He just freaking walks in there, doesn't care. Dice are dying in the explosion, but still the round was won 7-9 now. The Cats can bring it home, but will they? As the economy is kind of in shambles, kind of like the world economy here. Inflation is rampant in this game as well. It can hardly afford anything at this point. We see a decent bit amount of util from some team members, but all in all, it's probably a rough time, especially since all of them are rather low. This looks like Lucky Round are going for a more traditional A push. We have a few people on A long, maybe a few too many. And then we have the Crab Gang going on to A short. This is a little bit susceptible to what is Cube doing now, which is a nade that's unfortunately a little bit too slow. But with the flashbang, he realizes, hey, there's a bunch of people that got flashed and that spammed, so he was able to delay that quite a bit, and they were able to gain a lot of intel on that one. And Rico, not only finding intel, also finding Dice's head and shoot it, turning into the 5v4 situation. They're now all moving into A long. With just one or two angles here. I'm not sure if that is the play, but they do manage to take out Enrico. Crab, still not aware what danger he is, doing the little crab dance, but doing a good job of just flashing along. And with last round, Lucky Round really has to push here. 45 seconds, they could still rotate, but it would be a very dangerous rotation. So instead, they like to just push the side. Mr. Iron trying to see what channel it is, doesn't make it. Clips also doesn't make it, leaving just Clips, CG and Pixel on this last round in the 30 seconds on the clock and being spotted. This is not good for Lucky Round. And Drop also killing Pixel, leaving just Pixel who has to do a miracle, but there was no miracle to be found. 7-10, final result, well played from the Cats, I would say. Still a very close and good game all around. So GG's to that. And since this is recording, hopefully we can still immediately jump into the next game. If it's not gone, we shall see. So we have Manor here, we have a Manor from them, and I believe their last map is over up here. Yeah, their last map was Wise, meaning Manor was their second map. Yep, and we can also watch that. Hopefully there's not so many issues in terms of how the game started in last cast. We shall see. That is definitely the advantage of just casting of recordings. You don't have to wait on the teams. You can immediately see what's happening. Yeah, and it looks like the Lucky Round players start on the CT side while the Cats are meowing into the Manor as a T. I apologize. And we shall see if that works out for them. Do I have anything set up? Not really. Lots of black screen. Nothing else. We do an action shot here. Thought I pressed the right button. Clearly I did not. Clearly I forgot a lot of things on this software. Okay, it's shift. And clearly what you can hear is a little guy drilling in a security camera into a wall, and that's what that sound is. No sound is being heard by Lucky Round, and it looks like they swapped in the landlord, who is ironically not in the house, but instead is trying to evict people. I keep making that shitty joke. On the A side, they're now pushing in, finding the landlord, and instead evicting him. Yeah, no more being a tenant or dick towards tenants here. It's your last resting place. So now they have controlled the sign, plant the bomb, and there's no retake in sight. So it was a very good start for the Cats. We have Mr. Iron on the flank, about to get the drop on Enrico, who didn't expect him there, and then finds himself dead because he got shot in the head. And it's a very good retake so far for Lucky Round because they just keep shooting people in the head, and it works well. But Aeon says, maybe I should try that as well. Guys are now on the flank, but the double flank from Aeon shooting in the back. Almost getting Pixel there as well, but they do manage to win the round. However, the bomb was planted, meaning the Cats are in the advantage in terms of money. And as we all know, dollar bill, cash rules the world. Interesting enough, we see a sort of mixed buy from the cats. Enrico is buying a deagle. We see some M4, some AKs more traditional. Not sure why Enrico elected to go for that deagle. On the lucky round side, we're seeing Pixel with the M16 is the only one who doesn't adhere to the AK meta. We'll see if that works out for him. And it looks like the cats are playing a little bit more slow. But lucky round having none of that, immediately killing 2 members, that is not how you want to start a round. I believe they just got spammed through the fence. It's in the 3v5 situation. Lucky round really needs some picks now. Enrico is trying to... He also doesn't have ammo. But, I mean, this is the advantage if your teammates get killed early and if you didn't buy a gun, you can just take theirs. That works. You know, he saved some eco right there. Shrub destroying the eco of CG by shooting him, turning this into a 3v4 situation. The bomb is sort of turning towards B, and I think Lucky Round expecting it to be an A. Landlord is deeply anchored on the A side, and Mr. Iron is sort of rotating into the mid. Pixel is also moving towards the A side, so there's a window of opportunity here. Enrico checking with Shrub, hey, are you still there? And indeed he is. So now they're taking headshot basically uncontested. Not sure why he preferred that. Pixel was not inside and didn't know where the enemy was. So that was a bit of a blunder there, but Enrico makes up for it by just shooting him. 30 seconds on the clock, 2v2. He's just sprinting through the pool. Like Jesus, he walks on the water. For legal reasons, I have to say that Enrico probably is not Jesus. Just so we are in the clear and do not get a lawsuit or cease and desist. Anyways, 2v2 situation now. We have one person on tits. We have the bomb planted in the correct spot. Enrico about to get flanked because Shrub is just looking at the floor. It is a very nice floor. I mean, they put a lot of work into it. Still, I feel like holding an angle or something would be the preferable choice. He still doesn't agree to that. He's just hiding in the corner, then peeking out, killing Landlord. But of course, Mr. Iron is there on the other side and finishing the job. So unless he fat fingers it multiple times, he should be in the clear. And this should be another round for Lucky Round. And these are important rounds for them, as this map is generally considered T-sided. So the more rounds you win as a CT, the better. The eco of Cat is now heavily disrupted, except for Enrico, of course, who did the genius financial play. Maybe he should manage my stock portfolio because it's doing quite poorly. Yeah, please send help. Yeah. But thanks to the bomb plant, which for some reason gives money in this game, we don't really know how that works, but it does work. They can still buy guns, and so they do. Lucky Round, of course, winning the round, also can buy guns. We see one pair of clippers, a little bit of utility on Landlord and CG, and an alibi flashbang on Nice Darsa. But he doesn't need a flashbang. He can just shoot Cube in the face in the house, saying, hey man, this is my manor. We have some firefights over there. Enrico dying in the table lane. Again in a 3v5 situation, very early, not ideal of course for the cats. Aeon managing to kill Pixel. Zion trying to get the refrag through the wall, doesn't, still trying. Aeon is long past that, but Odysseus gets killed, who also got swapped in. I apologize, I missed that. Looks like Cutie Cat maybe went karaoke singing because she's no longer singing in this team, at least not on this map. Good to see players being swapped out. But not good for the cats in terms of 2v4. Dicer getting the flank on Shrub, but Dicer also one-shot, and I think Aeon is about to kill him. Although Nicer Dicer has his gun up, expecting him, and Aeon also expecting Aeon, so Aeon killed Aeon. Bion, maybe? Is that joke dead? Are we still doing that joke? Anyways, 3-0, that's the current scoreboard. We see Nicer Dicer cleaning up on the Lucky Round side, and on the Cat side, we have Shrub and Aeon leading the scoreboard respectively. Odysseus and Cube still waiting on their first frag. Their economy still, strangely enough, alright enough to buy a gun and one single frag grenade. Looks like they're going for a full A push. Landlord just flashing over, telling everybody, hey, look at this little white light in the sky. And they're now slow walking. This would be the perfect opportunity for a frag grenade, but they're not being... Oh, yeah. There was a valiant attempt. If I had one a little bit wider, that could have dealt quite a bit of damage. But he didn't tag anybody, and I don't think any footstep were caused. But now Shrub opening fire on the garden lane, not really killing anybody, hitting anybody. Odysseus is quite confused. Was hit by that flashbang. It doesn't hurt anybody in conclusion. But Cube does hurt the landlord again, removing him from the premises. And they fully take A side without casualties, which is always what you want to do as a T. Because it helps with the insurance premiums. You see a counter nade trying to nade offside, but bouncing just a little bit unfortunate. And they're all in the back lane, which is mostly the same angle. I'm not entirely sure I agree, except Cube is in the X-Cat. And now Lucky Round pushing onto side, but paying dearly for it. 5v2 now for the Cats. 1v5 in terms of Lucky Round. Pixel saying, I'm not dying here, you're dying here. However, Cube does not agree with that assessment and yoinks a gun from the floor. So first win or first round for the Cats, and this is the current scoreboard. And we shall see how it continues in terms of the economy and such. And it looks like they want to switch it up, the Cats. They took A side, now they want to see what's up on B side. They're completely ignoring the Manor, probably saying, hey man, we all got freaking dirty shoes, we can't really go into there. They told us specifically not to bring our dirt into the Manor. So they're kind of, you know, nice towards the host and just walk onto the B plateau. Mr. Iron making a lot of steps, playing with the Bison, which I don't really understand why you would do that on this round. Cats are probably just as convinced as I am, just kill him and then walk into side. Cube does make a quick stop, shooting Pixel in the face. That seems to be some of his favorite pastime. That grenade from Landlord would have done a lot of damage. Unfortunately from it was slightly mistimed. He's now in a good position. Let's rewind that and say he's not in a good position because he was just shot dead. But there was potential there. He didn't realize the potential, but there was potential there. Anyways, another round for the Cats. So things are swinging around, you know, in the cat house. Oh, I don't know, man. Yeah, but they win, and if they can keep winning, they can really make some headwinds here, which they should. As a T, you need to win those rounds. And while the next round runs, we shall hydrate. We are seeing a full save round on the Lucky Round part. Looks like Landlord elected to drop all the guns, just going for knifing. He's pushing onto the balcony, telling everybody, hey, I have two knives, it's pretty terrific. Lots of Simpsons reference here. The Cats are fairly slow on this one, using a lot of utility on the A side because they expect somebody to be there. Will Aeon shoot the Landlord? Yes, he will. Now Lucky Round should know what's going on with all the util going down. I would argue there was a lot of eco damage because it looked like the Cats threw about, I don't know, $2,000 onto A side, but of course they couldn't have known it was completely empty. Also empty is Nice's health because his body's full of bullets. CG just standing on the obelisk, realizing I'm in a bit of a shitty spot as he dies, leaving just Mr. Iron, who also has a pistol and a knife, and he makes something happen with it. He's just waiting, but why would the Cats push there? They have really no reason to go there in any conceivable scenario, and it doesn't look like they will. They're just orderly falling back onto side, keeping their eyes, hopefully keeping their eyes, but keeping their eyes on the bomb, that's what I meant to say, so that no ghost or like snips, like what do you call it, ninja clipping happens. Yeah. And another round for the Cats, who now brought it back from, I believe, 3-0 to a 3-3 situation. Looks like this time a little bit of a diversion from Cube on the B plat. Throwing probably a nade. Yep, would have been beautiful, but Mr. Iron decided not to be there. We have CG pushed up into secret. Landlord now falling off. Looks like they're kind of falling for it, but maybe somebody showed himself early or made too much sound. CG is on the case, but Aeon decides we need to shut down this agency. Cube was also shut down on the B plat. However, that was a good grenade, lots of damage. All of them are very low. Landlord finishing the job on Aeon, killing him. 2v5 situation, 1v5 situation, leaving just Shrub, who is also very low. That grenade really was the MVP there. Landlord manages to fully tag them all down. And Shrub realizing, it's kind of awkward. On the upside, if you get killed here, you are immediately in the right spot and can, you know, be buried. But that's probably not what he had in mind. Mr. Dicer and Mr. Iron now on the hunting party. Shrub in a bit of a pickle here. In a sort of, not rock, but very hard place as he dies. 4-3, the economy of the cats is quite sufficient to get all the cat supplies. So that is not too bad, but they need really, ideally 2 more wins to, you know, help with the win of the game. This is the current scoreboard. I believe Landlord made all 3 kills in the last round, so that was really a comeback right there. 3 people entered the home disregarding the quest or the question to keep it orderly. We have Aeon on the B plat already making it there, and Shrub going on the A stairs. Looks like they're moving more towards B, but they're taking their time. We see Shrub taking out CT, who I believe was in secret. Mr. Dicer taking shots through the wall, tagging Cube, I believe that's what happened. And Aeon just walking to the side, having a good window pixel, barely missing him as he's switching angles. So they have no idea. Ion is in the table lane. And Aeon is on the white flank. Pixel about to run with it. Unfortunately, Aeon didn't have his gun up. That's most unfortunate. So Pixel can just fire all the bullets into him, turning this into a 2v4 situation. The Cats should play it, as they still have sufficient money for the next round and they need a win desperate, so there's no point in saving. However, you get killed all alone in house and Shrub is not there to do the refrag. Then it's a 1v4 situation. He has 38 seconds on the clock. Let's see what he makes of it. I don't think he has the bomb. Let's check that real quick. No, he does not. Let's go into first person view again. Guys are walking to the house. He's checking corners. Did he see him? I believe he did. And they trade, which is most unfortunate because I believe that kill did not go over towards Shrub, but instead went towards Nice Dicer. So he didn't even make money on that one. So this is the last and final round of this round. Of course, I mean, this is the final round of this round. No, this is the final round of this side. Cat really needs to turn this into a 5-4 situation. Landlord, interestingly enough, buying a saw, which is very often meta. The meta police has been informed. It's on the case. We shall see if they can punish Landlord for this extravaganza. Nicer Dice are taking a lot of damage. I'm not sure from what, because all of them are here. That must have been team damage in some form or another. Maybe grenade that wouldn't let go. That sometimes happens. We have CG on a super red angle here. Very early aggression. But Cube checking that corner. And unfortunately for CG, also hitting his shots. Now it's just Landlord inside, who again does the nade, and again it does real good damage on 3 enemies. He's also shooting Odysseus, who now, however, made it to the bomb spot and can plant it. Nicer Dicer on the flank, killing Enrico. In a 4v4 situation, most of Cats very hurt. Odysseus, interesting enough, having a sort of shotgun and smoking himself off. So it looks like a spicy nade sort of play, but Landlord is not falling for it. If he had a spicy nade, it will just... Yeah, he did have it, but it did not do anything because the site was not cleared. 1v4 situation. Cube is on the flank. He can kill a bunch of them, but he decides, or maybe fails to do so. 6-3 now for the lucky round. This is probably a very good start for them. That really went a little bit different there. They hit the site. Just Landlord there. No casualties at that point. But the retake was very successful. And so was the lucky round, CT round. We shall see if they can make it happen. On the T side, looks like they are not saying rush B Sukablat. They are saying we are rushing A, as they all move towards the A stairs. Needs more spice, is what Odysseus is saying in chat. Yeah, that was a little bit early. Everybody was still busy shooting each other. Mr. Iron not waiting to shoot Shrub in the face, immediately domes him, and they take side without any casualties, just firing 3 bullets. Talk about economical efficiency. Odysseus, you know, returning the favor by just firing 2 bullets, getting the frag. They are now already entering on the obelisk, and Cube does manage to kill people, but now on the other side, they're coming in and they know where Pixel is because he did kill somebody. And he now has to face 2 people, but he didn't get hit so far until he got shot in the face with the deagle. So they do manage to, you know, win the round, which is very important for them. However, of course, with the plan, this means they have the smaller amount of money compared to Lucky Round. So Lucky Round will be able to buy a little bit more, a little bit util, or even armor if they decide to do so. And it looks like, for the most part, they will buying AKs and armor. Not a lot of util, except one lonely flashbang, which could also be the bomb, because that's sometimes how the game displays it. I don't know why it does that, but it doesn't appear to be the bomb. And we have another smoke grenade by CG. And on the cat side, this time Enrico doesn't like to stay with his vehicle, instead buys an AK. Shrub killing Landlord as he enters the site. However, he makes the space for the rest of the team who is now on site. However, 3v5, and we still have cat players on the spot, and they are not really covering their teammates. CG gets killed, he gets the bomb plant down, leaving just Pixel in a 1v5 situation. Very awkward. He probably should try to save his gun, let them get killed. He does manage to kill one, but that's not worth one gun. But surviving that would also probably been really impossible with so many people there. They would have handed in, they would have shot him down anyways. So about the best thing he could have done there. Another round for the Cats, 6-5. This is a very good start for them in that sense. The Lucky Round can afford another round because they did manage to plant the bomb. But again, they're very low on the util. Shows Pixel with a clipper. I very much doubt that unless he started hacking. I think this is just the game's way of telling him with the bomb. They're shooting a lot of bullets through the door. Also would like to know why the doors in this house are all made of wood. That is very weird how indoor doors are of the same material as outdoor doors. Very questionable design decisions. Also questionable is the fact that Odysseus already has been killed. So now they have complete control of the manor. And it looks like the Cats kind of fell back in a more defensive position. They are kind of holding table lane. And the garden looks like they're not sure where the attack is coming from. And I'm not sure Lucky Round knows at this stage either. They are just sort of in all the lanes looking for any pick. And instead they get picked up as Cube gets killed. Actually, as Cube kills the Landlord. Now the rotation coming towards B, but also people still on A. Up saying, you know what, I don't really care about that. He nades and then he runs away, but he's only one shot. Enrico also was one shot because he was shot in the face by the K. And now Pixel can plant. Shrub just hiding near a pond. It's a very unusual spot, I would say. Never really seen anybody hiding there, not backing up his brethren. The Cube was trying for the retake. I'm not sure how he can get that all into frame. However, for Lucky Round, we only have Pixel on the spot. The rest of the team, we have kind of hit. But Cube does get the pick, and the bomb is on the inside. Unfortunately, there is an angle for Nicer Darcer who is in position. Otherwise, this would have been very awkward. A valiant attempt. Aeon could, not Aeon. Cube could not have imagined that there was somebody behind him on sniper. But still, this is a very important round for Lucky Round. 7-5 now. They really needed to turn this around, and so they did. The Cats are not completely broken. They were able to afford the guns. Were they able to afford armor? As we see a lot of armor over here, except for Shrub. Who decides this is a perfect spot near me to flashbang that statue. The statue was completely flashbanged. We are swinging over there on the B stairs. Just holding position for the most part. We have Aeon on the headshot. We have the rest of the team sort of waiting for entry. Let's go into a little bit of an action cam here. See the bullet whizzing by. Perfect nade from Mr. Iron, deleting Aeon, who never saw that one coming. And yeah, it's just leaving Enrico on the sniper position. They haven't cleared yet. He's pushing him as well, and Enrico is taking quite a bit of damage. But he does manage to take out Mr. Iron. And Enrico just now needs to buy time for the rest of this team to rotate as the attack clearly is on B. We have Shrub behind him as CG hears the stabs, which soon he should. Nope. But the gunfire on him, he clearly heard. Pixel on side, alone now in a 1v2 situation. Indeed, that frag was very beautiful. In fact, as I frag quite a lot, I feel like it's very inconsistent with the way the railings happen at the top. Not inconsistent, or I would say very consistently mashed, is Pixel's head, because it got shot by a lot of bullets and he's just lying there, picking up all the guns and then defusing the bomb, bringing an important round for the cats. If he starts defusing, if you don't, then I look like a freaking idiot. Maybe they're just communicating in terms of what kind of gun they should pick up, because he's doing this very slowly. But there he goes. Yeah, indeed. The nade can often like get stuck in here and sort of just explode, and then the damage doesn't really translate, even though if the explosion can be very close to that player. It can also, of course, overshoot. The player can be on the other side. So getting a kill from one nade there, that's pretty good. Yeah, did not see that coming. 7-6. Good retake by the cats. Important round. I keep saying important round. Every round is important here. This is a high stakes game. The winner will gain a lot of MMR. Actually, I don't know if that's true. Probably not. But we're just gonna pretend it's a high stakes game. Okay. Odysseus getting killed by Landlord on the A side. We also have two players on the B side. That's why I'm swinging around so wildly. I don't know where the attack is happening. Looks like Lecrion is just probing, finding out Enrico is there, and Enrico can indeed kill. Cube in mid, being surprised, but somehow surprisingly surviving until Pixel shows up and stopping that. It looks like Mr. Iron has heard the steps of Shrub, and so he did, leaving just Enrico and Aeon. And as I say that, Pixel kills Enrico, and now Aeon has to play this. I don't think he should. He's already about half HP. And he decides, you know what, this is a perfect place. Which I don't think I can agree with that assessment. From a tactical point of view, it's very safe, but from like an optical point of view, this is quite sad in terms of like design. They could have done more with the place. You have like this big plant over here, and then you have 3 tables, and like these pots where nothing is in them. It's kind of all kinds of sad. I feel like, you know, could really done something with the property, you know, bring up the value. Yeah, but they don't. Aeon, however, delivers value to his team by still picking up a gun to coming back to the game. The rest of the guns are just artifacts from PAF TV, in case you're wondering why Aeon is not picking them up, because he can't see them because they are not there for him. But he does bring back 1M4, which is always a good thing, not just if you're in America, but also if you're playing PAF off in Europe. Trap testing if the gun is working, and indeed it is. And we shall see if they can bring it back now, because Lucky Round is now in the lead, or was in the lead before, but is now even more in the lead, 8-6. The chat, of course, has some sort of clairvoyance as to the result of this game. And again, I should know the results, but I immediately forgot as I saw them. That happens quite a lot. I'm mostly happy if I still remember my own name. Yeah, we have a smoke grenade up there, which is not the best in terms of tactical display. This one is a lot better, completely blocking of Banana and Rico being like, hey guys, actually for now finds the angle and kills CG before the smoke completely deploys. He doesn't even care about the smoke, he just shoots through the smoke, and for him, very nicely, they show up. Landlord on the flank, killing Enrico, saying, sir, you cannot kill people through the smoke. And he was punished, but then Aeon does manage to get the retake. 8-7. Very good, very good. In terms of scoreboard, we have Nicer Darisha on the Rocky Round with 16-10 on 40 score. Top scoring on the cat side, we have some sexy Shrub 10-9-34. CG a little bit indecisive, still in spawn. Probably looking at his money, realizing, hey, I'm freaking poor, this sucks. But he does have a gun and a bunch of util. What more can you really want? Mr. Iron admiring the beauty of this not so beautiful tree. It looks like a slow A push. Landlord starting shit out of secret, getting Odysseus down to 1 HP, but Cube does not appreciate that and just downs him to 0 HP. They're now on the hunt. Lecrion kind of stuck here. They're kind of susceptible to a lot of util if that was to come from Shrub or anybody else really. Flashbangs, nades, anything could slow them down, even smoke grenade. But it looks like the only util is really coming out of Lucky Round. They are really pushing Shrub off that and then killing him with a beautifully placed grenade by Dicer, turning this into 2v4 situation for the Cats. That's going really hard. But Aeon decides, hey, let's swing it back, turning this into 2v2 by just deleting 2 people. And then Pixel, of course, is on side, and CG is also killed by Aeon. Hot diggity damn, Aeon just deciding, you know what, let me kill 3 people. Enrico, you can have the bomb carrier, the bomb planter. And this is how we do it, and they just do it. It just works for them. 8-8. What a retake. After those beautiful grenades, I thought it was over. 2v4 retake on that is quite difficult. But Aeon and Enrico manages to pull it off. And for another round, we see Lucky Round, who are now on their last few dollars for the most part, playing it slow, giving up completely the Manor just on the A stairs. There is a pre-nade, but it falls a little bit short, and even if it would have hit the stairs where it's supposed to land, it wouldn't have tagged anybody, as they were really cautious. And they're now walking up the stairs, just really slow walking it. We have Shrub in a little bit of an unusual angle here. Not the worst spot to be in, really. But he's giving up sort of the long lane on the side. He hears the footsteps. He also shoots Dice in the face. And Landlord, but is then traded out. Odysseus already on the flank, turning this into 2v4 situation, which of course is not ideal. CG sort of evens it out a little bit into a 2v3. I don't think they have the bomb, otherwise they would have planted it by now. It must have been dropped here. Indeed, he picks it up. But can he make it to the bomb spot, as Enrico is now on the case? CG realizing it's probably dangerous around here. And indeed it was, as he was killed, leaving just Mr. Iron, who has 35 seconds to win against 3 people with a bomb being dropped. Can he do it? Money-wise, probably this should be a save, but the stakes are high. And the adrenaline is pumping. He hears Cube, but then he makes a fatal footstep, but it was fatal for Le Cube instead. He is bloodthirsty, even though he's 1 HP. He probably should have taken that gun and booked it out of there, but he wanted more, and he got more, but more bullets, and that meant his death. 8-9, potentially final round. Unfortunately for Lucky Round, they are quite cash poor. They can afford the AKs they so like, but in terms of utility, we will probably not see a lot. We see a frag grenade, and Nicer has shown he can throw those beautifully, and the flashbang. Landlord charging forward. Pixel also with the frag grenade. The rest of the team sort of now splitting up inside the Manor and next to it. That nade would have really dealt some damage, but Landlord managed to duck in, not giving table land. Nicer decided not ducking damage, just taking damage to the face, but is traded out by the Landlord here. Le Cube, that is. And also, good evening, Swings. I hope you are having a good evening. I did see your reaction video to that other meme video, and I thought it was pretty funny. Well memed, good sir. I always appreciate a good meme. Odysseus appreciates his SK as it kills Mr. Iron, turning this to a 3v4 situation. But now Landlord is on the flank, managed to shoot Odysseus in the bag, and it's 3-3 with just Shrub on the A side, and it looks like Lucky Round moving towards the A side, but it looks like Cat actually being aware. Landlord should hear them now. He is in a penetrable wall, so as soon as he makes one footstep, he can just be shot through the wall. Will Enrico check it far enough? The question is, does he need to? There's no plant, there's no nothing. Landlord trying to go for the repeak. Pixel thought the side was clear, but Psych Rob was still lurking there after all this time. Not sure why he let him even plant. He just needs to defuse, and they win. Yeah, cash points like an economic. I'm smart, okay? I'm smart. Anyways, 8-10 for the Cats. Their second win, meaning they are taking this one to the bank in terms of ELO, in terms of MMR, however you want to call it. But we shall still cast the third game just to be sure we are doing something productive today. I sure as shit didn't do anything else. If we can still find it, right now there's unfortunately some sort of competitive server who clears out all the cache, not the map itself, but rather the games. But there's still Vice here, as you can see in the list. We only have 154 minutes ago. It used to be 400 minutes ago, so it's quite reduced thanks to that stupid server that's just cycling on empty. No matter, we still have Vice, and we shall go to Vice. I was making jokes in terms of my own game in the sense that whoever is trying to cast that needs to cast it on Vice, so good luck with that. Joke's on me, I'm the one who's casting Vice now. Look at me, look at me. I'm the one who's casting Vice now. I was mentioning this towards the creator, who is actually a pretty cool guy. Shout out to him. And just, put that up. It's Mr. Pig 2. I'm terrible with names. Anyways, I told Mr. Pig, hopefully he can do something about it. It's unfortunately not as easy. I have a smooth brain, so I was talking with Superhero, who has a much bigger brain, and even he cannot simply figure it out how to make it better. So we'll just have to deal with it. It's just going to be this way. We shall see how that goes. I don't think I've casted this map fully at all. I'm just very excited to see what's happening, as I'm not necessarily a big fan of the map, but I'm a big fan of new maps into the league, not CS maps, if I may be so biased. And we see the cats on the T side. I personally consider this map slightly T-sided or moderately T-sided. And we shall see if that holds true in this matchup. We see multiple people towards the A side, but not completely aggressing. Landlord now starting some shit in A short towards mid. Pixel shooting down Odysseus, who's trying to run up. Cube is already in front of him, but not following it up. And Rico getting killed by Dicer, who's on the flank, also killing Cutie Cat, who got swapped in for, I believe, Shrub. I think that's this change. On the Lucky Round side, I believe Cliff is now in, and CG has been subbed out. Very interesting here to see these players all getting their game time. Also, that attack completely failed. Cube all alone versus 4 with 1 HP. He better pulls out those headshots. He does have the bomb, and with 38 seconds, maybe even enough time to rotate. But instead he decides, you know what, I'll lay down here and die. So first round going towards Lucky Round without even a plant, so the cats will be quite poor. No, what's it called? Catnip on the menu. And they decide to be economical about it, buy some deagles, except for Odysseus, who didn't even bother, just his trusty 1911, his big iron on the hip. We shall see if they can make something happen here. Enrico getting naded, nice nade, almost killing him, down to 40% HP. Looks like a bit of a split, leaning towards the A side. We have multiple people towards B, sort of checking out what's happening here. Landlord with mini AK, interestingly enough. That is not my weapon of choice in terms of anti-eco, as the gun itself is quite expensive and the kill bonus is also not very high. Yeah, we shall see what he can make happen with that one. Obviously already got a kill, so that's good. Rest of the team, we see 1 imp and 3 AKs. Kind of a mixed buy here. It's always an awkward situation. If one of those AKs would be dropped, then the UMP or the mini AK player would suddenly be outgunned. See Clips being very aggressive, sneaking up on Cutie Cat, shooting her. Now it's a 2v5 situation. It's just bullets being exchanged, Odysseus being killed. We have Clips who merely escaped the knife, I believe that was, although we didn't hear the sound. But 2-0 now on the second round, and now we can see another round with actual guns, and we shall see how that goes. On the cat side, only an Aeon found a kill so far. Rest of the team still waiting on that to happen. I can certainly relate, as I did not really do much on Vice today myself, except die a whole lot and be salty about it, as you know me. And on the Lucky Round side, we have Master Dicer and Clips and Landlord, both with 3 frags. Mr. Iron's still waiting on his, depending on his position. It is absolutely normal, as this map is decided and very split up, and sort of, if the action is already over, There's not really much to do. It looks like he's playing on the B plateau or B heaven, and considering how the cats have elected to always go A, it is no wonder that he doesn't see a lot of action. Nicer Dice, however, being on the B side of mid, again finding Enrico, again it's now in the flank, it's a 3v4 situation here, so anything goes, 1 minute on the clock all the time in the world, but of course with Nicer so far pushed up, they are probably fairly certain that it's not a B, and the rotate for the cats will be quite difficult as we have Nicer lurking there, and also where the Clips go. The Clips is checking out, making sure nobody's on B. And the cats are not really pushing. Are they saving this one? No. Cube is now moving slowly up. I think Lucky Round is a little bit confused as they gave up most of their players from the A side. Just poor Landlord. And now they're realizing, hey, actually left are kind of open. Yeah, that's awkward, but it makes it work by killing a person. Nicer Dice and Kitty Cat trade out. And I don't think they're going to make it to the guns, but they needed a win and not just some picks. The most unfortunate for them. Looks like they're forcing, which is maybe not the worst idea considering they will have to, you know, get on loss bonus, on government handouts soon if they can't score a win. On the Lucky Round side, we see all the util in the world, which is always good to see. Everybody except Pixel, who thinks to himself, Clippers are for noobs, I have fingers, jokes on them, I'm saving 800 bucks. We shall see if that you know, it's going to be a problem for him. Clips with a really enthusiastic flashbang. I don't really think they would have done anything, even if it was somebody in lane. Clips, however, does manage to perfectly nade Aeon, who seems to have a talent today, finding those nades as he caught them one with his whole body. See another attempt on A, but they don't seem to be able to push Pixel off that spot. Now falls back to what we call elevator. Is it an elevator? It indeed is an elevator. He trades out with Cube, so they finally managed to kill him, but with a lot of casualties there and a lot of lost time. But most importantly, they do manage to get the bomb down. Cutie Cat now pushing into CT. Surprising Nicer Dicer with an egg shot to the head. And I believe Enrico hurt Mr. Iron. But Mr. Iron does not care. He just shoots him. He finally wants his frag and he gets it. We have Odysseus lurking in B short. Bit of an unusual position here, as nobody's really watching CT. Clips nading himself, thinking, you know what, one nade is not enough. Just running up, and Odysseus lurks him out. Well played there. If they knew the intel was there, then it was a beautiful play. Otherwise, it would have been a bit risky, given how CT was completely open. But no less, first win or first round for the Cats, 3-1 now. Ironically, Black Hat, my download actually finished as I was casting, but one day you will have fiber, I believe. Alright, let's see how it goes. Looks like another A setup, and I can't really blame them. This time it worked out for them, but they really needed to push Pixel off that position. They can nade him, they can flash him, they can even smoke him if they have to. Landrock being highly aggressive. And this time Aeon just shoots him in the head. That was beautiful. Leaving just Mr. Iron and Clips, who are both B players, who are now trying to rotate from behind. This will take quite a while. And the Cats can take all the time in the world. I believe that's trying to be a Ligma joke, but you know, first of all, this is an English-speaking channel, and second of all, it's 2022. Those things really don't fly anymore, so I encourage you to update your jokes. 2v4, Mr. Iron again on the flank, Cutie Cat in a sort of a red spot, but it looks like he's going into the mid. And Odysseus is ratting in the old spot again, so they have all the angles covered. And it looks like Lucky Round will save. The question is, will the Cats be able to move out of this safely? Away from the bomb blast. Cube is pushing into CT, it's a little bit dangerous. All alone, so he manages to survive. Clips does manage to find Odysseus, and Odysseus dies in the process. But no matter, the round win was much more important, and they do end up winning another round, which is again always important score-wise, and this is where we stand. And since A is working for them, it looks like the cats will continue going towards A. Let's see what's happening in the mid side. We see a pre-nade. It's a little bit too ambitious. Nice that I would have been way more aggressive. We see Enrico trying to sort of prevent any sort of aggression. Speaking of aggression, we have the B players just pushing out wild, so they know it's absolutely an A since they are all in B-con and B-long. And if they manage to hold A, then this flank could be devastating if they are not checking if somebody's pushed behind. Enrico about to run into Dicer, but gets the kill. I believe he heard Iron, maybe? Looks like it. But yeah, they run into each other and Mr. Iron wins that one. Kitty being shot down on side, Pixel holding that side until he does no longer. As, you know, he gets killed by Odysseus. This is a 2v2 situation, but it looks like the bomb has been dropped and... Oh no, he just makes it offside. If he can plant it... Oh, he can. Mr. Iron a little bit too careful. And now 1v2 situation. If Aeon plays it smart, he will not reveal himself. They will have to check all the sides, but Clip's about to shoot him in the back as he's just... I don't know why he didn't shoot him. Maybe he wanted to leave one kill to Mr. Iron, which is always a nice gesture, I guess. But yeah, he could have just shot him. And this is another round for Lucky Round. And good for them, they're also picking up all the rifles. So, and they are, economy-wise, now in a very good spot. However, Cats did manage to plant and had some leftover money from the last rounds. So they are now in a still a very good spot, can still easily buy 2 rounds. Even if they don't plant, then they will at least make it into round 8 in terms of money. We shall see how it goes then. Looks like they were a little bit unhappy with the A push. Not sure where that smoke came from or what it's supposed to do. We have 2 people on A long, probably setting up the same they always set up. But then we have 3 people in B short. This time, however, Mr. Iron is not aggressive, which is probably good for him. Cats looking at each other. Hey, he's supposed to be here. He's not here. What is going on? Clips, however, is aggressive. We will see if that works out for him. We see a little bit of gunfire in mid between Aeon and Dicer. Landlord does get naded, I believe. Odysseus is also fighting on A long. Clip's about to find out that Cutie Cat is there, and Cutie Cat just shoots off his head, saying, "Hey man, you can't push every round." That kind of gets old, as they effortless take. It's late. And also I'm stupid. Anyways, they do plant the bomb on B. Pixel killing Odysseus on A side, but Aeon has the refrag, and now he's sort of like in their flank, which is super awkward. They have to push the side, and Dicer tries, but his head just pops off. Landlord gets the refrag on Enrico, now peeking to side, but Aeon is on the flank. They must know this. Or hopefully they should. Mr. Iron doesn't, but Landlord is in a dangerous position. He could have clipped here, but Cutie Cat saying, "You're not clipping that thing. That thing is mine. We worked a lot to get that there." And she shuts him down. I'm not sure if he was attempting to do that, but that was sort of a scary situation for a second. 4-3. Oh, it's also getting kind of hot in my apartment. Also hot is Aeon's shots on Pixel, who just dies on A long. That's the pick they needed. They should accelerate their position. Landlord, interestingly, very aggressive on A short, but Cutie Cat is having none of that nonsense, and now A side is completely open. Mr. Iron trying to rotate into it. However, unfortunately for him, he's way too late. They already have the elevator. Firing some shots, no hits connect. Odysseus really not caring about him. He should, because he still has a deagle and he gets the 3 shots, kills him. Cutie Cat, enraged by this murder, decides to take out her anger on Mr. Iron, just kills him, leaving just Clips and his deagle against 4 people. 2 of them are tagged. Ian is 1 shot, Cutie Cat is 2 shot, and Enrico and LeCube are 1 shot because he has a deagle and they always kill if you hit. Can you hit LeCube? He cannot. Instead, he got cubed in the head by an AK. 4-4, so a little bit of a turnaround here. After a rocky start, the Cats did manage to come back on this one. And now it's their final round. Lucky Round did save up quite a bit of money for their final round, so they can invest not in crypto, hopefully, but in guns, and can make that happen. And while we wait, we can take a look at this yacht, which looks quite nice, I would say, considering how struggling the Pavlov engine can be at times. Looks like another hit towards A. That grenade didn't do any damage on Landlord, even though I feel like it might have done some damage, like just a little bit, you know, just damage, I guess. Anyways, 5v5 here. Aeon taking a little bit of damage. Pixel taking a lot of damage. I think he tried to contest A long. Nice to dice again with these lethal nades. I believe that was into the Acon from mid, just blowing up Enrico. And now the cats are in a bit of a pickle. Looks like Landlord and Pixel have swapped positions, and Odysseus also sort of swapped the position in terms of he went to lie down because he's dead, leaving just Aeon in a 3v5. Rest of his team towards the mid. I believe he has the bomb. No, he does not. The bomb does not have the bomb. Hopefully there's no team killing. No, they do not fire at each other, which you never should in a league game. You should not fire at your team. However, 40 seconds on the clock. All of the members of Lucky Round still alive. And oh no, I think the map just... the map dropped off the bomb. No, the bomb dropped off the map. I'm not sure if anything can be done in that regard in terms of how to make the map secured. Aeon looking down there. Can we have a little sad trombone? We can probably make that happen. He's picking the fight. But that then happened, and yeah, that is most unfortunate. I was about to say we specifically asked the map creator to not have sort of this glass towards this part of the map, and I guess this part of the map, because that would make nading very easy, very boring, takes no skill. So luckily Mr. Pig agreed and took that out. But the downside is that maybe that just led to the bomb falling off the map, which is always kind of awkward, because then you have you know, and you have to kill everybody, and that's kind of hard when it's 2v5 with just like, I don't know, 20 seconds on the clock, and I need to go all in on that one, so that wasn't happening. Anyways, side switch, 5 rounds towards Lucky Round and 4 towards Cat. Not ideal, obviously, but we shall see if the Cats can make it happen on their CT. We have Odysseus in the heaven and Cutie Cat below heaven, which I don't know if we should call it hell. He's just going under the ladder. Finding out Nice Dice already picked up. I believe the bomb was not planted and it was dropped indeed. But Lucky Round does not care. Nice Dice specifically does not care. In fact, he just shoots everybody. They shouldn't shoot everybody. They should plant the bomb. That gives a lot of money. Nice Dice are now going for the bomb, picking it up, but Aeon is in position. And I don't know, but it looked to me like Nice Dice showed him the finger for a second. And he gets punished for it. He just pixels, but he also gets killed by Aeon, saving this one. Nicely played, Aeon. I have a bunch of meme sounds. I figured it'd be a good idea. What have we here? I guess this could be good. We shall see if we find some application for the funny sounds. Welcome to 2022, while we just posted memes and nothing else. Lucky Round, however, does more than nothing else. They are looking for a B play here, having just one person in B long, interestingly enough, and the rest of the gang is moving into B short. Mr. Iron first to chart with a bomb. Landlord killing Odysseus on B long. We have Nice Dice pulling out a nade. It's a flashbang, airburst on Cutie Cat, who probably is completely blind. They now take B side. Cutie Cat does manage to kill Mr. Iron, who I believe has the bomb. Indeed, it does not charge. And Cutie Cat is still alive, somehow, at heaven. But the rest of the team is now rotating in a 2v3 situation. Still on a short. Aeon killing Nicer Dicer. But Clips and Pixel having none of that, killing both of them. So 6-5 now for Lucky Round. Looks like B is working out for them, although they have a lot of casualties, I believe. Cat will now need to save. Mr. Iron just looking at his team. What are they doing? Clips turning around, running to the other direction. Looks like a little bit of a diversion on the A side, and 3 players again towards the B side. On an enemy safe round, you probably should stick more together and not give up guns. I'm trying to find out where the bomb is. Oh, Landlord is carrying it alone, which is dangerous. Also dangerous is facing Clips, because he needs Aeon just off somewhere. Pixel, killing, sorry. The Cube, Cutie Cat ratting beneath the stairs. Interesting spot. Enrico just killing Clips, who is being aggressive, and Enrico now trying to go for the gun, but gets killed by Pixel. Mr. Iron rotating it from the mid. Will he be able to see Cutie Cat? I don't think he will. He's probably more concerned with anybody just lurking in heaven. Odysseus is in the CT, about to find out that Pixel is still behind him. And that's not happening. I mean, just Cutie Cat, who kind of is in Mission Impossible here. And they probably don't know that she's there because they think they have all the angles covered. As that is indeed a very sneaky spot. Mr. Iron runs by her and he turns around in the right moment. I don't think she would have made it turn in terms of time, you know. Still, for the effort, we shall add some more funny sounds. Nice try, Cutie Cat, but there was no clipping today. And 7-5 now. Lucky Round can really bring this home. Cat can afford now a bunch of guns, and they decide to go for the economic AK-74, or is it 47? I believe it's 47 actually. I do not know my guns. And Lucky Round seemed to be happy with their B-side as it worked out quite well. Sending 4 players, Pixel making a lot of footsteps. That's something definitely even Cutie Cat heard. I said even Cutie Cat because she sings a lot. So she cannot hear all the footsteps because of her voice drowning that out. However, this one was so loud. He gets the drop on Pixel, but Nicer is there for the refrag, so they take a short, leaving just Audio, who holds the angle and just shoots down the Landlord. So they have A-Long covered, but they of course don't know this. And Mr. Iron kills him, but the retake is not even necessary because they just prevent the take. Mr. Nicer Dicer now alone on spot. But Cube is already behind him. It's kind of an awkward spot, and then gets shot in the back. It's never good when that happens. Leaving just Mr. Iron, who was alone on long. I believe that Clips did have the bomb, or was it Landlord? Their B-long player. So he did pick that up. And now throwing a grenade there just in case. Fuck that lamp in particular, Mr. Iron says. And then he places the smoke. I don't think he should go for it. It's kind of obvious, but yeah, he still tries to fight it. And dies in the process. He has a lot of money, so does the rest of the team, except for Clips, who doesn't really have a lot of money. I'm not sure why that is. Probably spend it all. Hopefully one of these days Clips will spend it on an Ethernet cable, but for now he spends it on a grenade, a smoke grenade, and an AK. Let's see how that turns out for him. Also bought himself some armor. Maybe he was dropped something. I believe the team dropped him some guns so he could afford the rest. And yeah, let's see the fighting on A-Long. They're contesting A-Long versus Aeon. It's a fairly even matchup. Not even is the Cube's headshot. Nice nade by Landlord, just leading Aeon. Enrico now tackling to himself. I'm in danger as he's pulling out A-short, but then of course he's being pushed from behind as they realize, hey, the A-short guy is facing us, therefore he's not facing behind, and they take the side 4v2. Odysseus does have clippers, but they do have to do a retake against 4 people, and that can be quite dangerous. It's also fairly late to the party, so I don't think they should even go for this one. Maybe save some guns. They have a little bit of money saved up, but given the score, it might be better to try to, you know, bring home some guns, buy some util. Looks like Odysseus agrees with this assessment, picks up a gun. Not sure if there's any more they can pick up. Yes, the frags are wild today. We get checking out the corner. Sort of hugging the wall. I heard these exposed brick walls are the latest trend. Interestingly enough, I didn't even know you could get onto that, so I guess Odysseus is manning the reception of the cafe while the rest of the team is dying to the bomb, or the rest of the lucky. It might have still been fixed. I don't know about that one. We have to check it. He has been informed. Maybe it's just in PathTD. Maybe I don't have the newest version. Maybe he fixed it some other way. Maybe he still needs to fix it. It's not a big deal. Calm down, old man. Don't be angry and salty. That is my mission in life. And it looks like Lucky Round's mission is to take B, and this time in full force, just a 5B long Sukabliat rush it, and they do. Odysseus is realizing, holy shit, that's a lot of footsteps, and Nicer Dice are just deleting him. He's already on the scene, does manage to kill Landlord, and shoots Mr. Iron, who dies planting the bomb. This is a repeating theme. Bomb is down, so Cutie Cat does not even need to contest this. Yuko all around. Unfortunately for Cat, they are quite smoked off, and another nade by Dicer. He really wants to nade people. Now it's a 1v2 situation by Enrico, and he has no eyes on the bomb. And 9-6. I have to say, in terms of casting, it's actually not that bad. I thought it was more distracting. You kind of just have to swing all around and not go through the mid. I guess the downside is you're missing a lot of the mid action. But these teams, lucky for us, are kind of focusing more on the sides, on the Bs and A-longs. It's not the worst in the world. But hopefully the map can still be a little bit improved in terms of castability. Gameplay-wise, I think it's already a fine addition. A lot of fun figuring out stuff, playing something different. Not falling asleep on Inferno, that's for sure. It looks like Aeon wants to try something new, being hyper-aggressive, just pushing along, about to run into Pixel. I think he did not hear him, so he might get dropped. Or maybe he just saw him. He does have a silencer, and he really lowers Pixel. Landlord also died. Clips now died, so this is not a good start for Lucky Round. But Mr. Iron about to get the drop on Aeon, and he does get the kill, turning to the 3v4 from Lucky Round's view. The question is, can they really do something with it? Pixel is one shot, and they're still kind of in mid. Nicer Dice are just walking through mid like it's nobody's business. He owns the place. Cutie Cat about to peek him, maybe? Does she finds him, quick peeks him, gets the intel, nicely done. He manages to evade that nade that was slightly undercooked, and he almost gets the kill with that nade. Enrico is finally shutting down the Madman with his mad grenades. 28 seconds on the clock. Mr. Iron decides, you know what, Pixel, you lived long enough with that stupid amount of health. I'm just gonna shoot you. Which is probably not the best in terms of winning the round, but it helps Kids tremendously. This is now the 1v4 situation, and Mr. Iron probably needs to save this one because of the team killing. He doesn't really have a lot of money if he dies. Also, some of his team members, mainly Landlord, also don't have a lot of money. So it would be better for him if he was to save that gun with 5 seconds on the clock. Instead, he yeets it out of there. Yeah. He can, you know, he can say to that one. Yeah, I need like a soundboard so these sounds are not fucking 10 seconds delayed. Production value is what I'm saying, guys. Production value. Anyways, a 9-7 potentially last round again. We shall see. I don't think Mr. Iron knew he was an acrobat either, but my god, that was the spin and a half, I would say. That kept happening for me, for my enemies for some reason. Ever since, I don't know, 2-3 weeks. It's kind of weird. Anyways, Odysseus and Landor decide, you know what, we both had enough of this round. They trade out and die. Just on belong. And it's a 4-4 situation. Clips interestingly buying him 16, even though he has money for more, I believe. Not sure what's up with that. Not sure what's up with that grenade. That kind of bounced off up there. Kitty Cat bouncing bullets towards Clip that don't bounce off. Cube shutting down Nicer Dicer. Turning us now into another hard situation. I'm getting flashbacks here. Pixel is again one shot. Maybe this time Mr. Iron will not team kill him. 2v4 situation. Cats just need to stay calm, stay collected, not over rotate, just hold their spots, and there's little Lucky Round can do. But Mr. Iron is determined. He wants to make plays here. Or maybe he just wants to sit in the corner. This could also be totally a possibility. I guess that's happening then. Pixel is holding that corner, so I think for another 20 seconds we will not see a lot of action, and we can take another look at the scoreboard where we see Nicer Dicer 16-12. I think at least 4 of those were in their case, if not more. Aeon 13-11 on the cat side. All in all, fairly even scores all around. Everybody doing the killing, doing the dying, you know, what you do when you play Pavlov. 9-8, this is another very close game. We shall see if Lucky Round can finish it off now or if it will go into a 9-9-9-9-9 situation. And we shall see what they do tactics-wise. Looks like a little bit of gun swapping in the Lucky Round spawn. Gibbs, meanwhile, doesn't want to wait. Runs away from a nade. Starts the fight with Aeon. Says, hey man, you want to start a fight? And then we start the fight. And looking good for Clips. Aeon now really low. One shot to an AK. However, he did get the intel. Knows at least one is there. And Lucky Round now needs to aggress and sort of do something. Oof. Lucky for Aeon, that fell off the map. Not entirely sure how that happened. That also went too short. They're really trying with those nades, but it's not Nicer Dicer's nade. So Aeon is still safe, somewhat safe as you can be. Rico being killed, Ion being killed, Aeon being killed. Excuse me, we now have a 2v5 situation, potentially game-winning round. All they have to do is plant the bomb and prevent the retake. That nade just a little bit too short, almost made it over the window, but did not over the glass. And now it's a dire situation for the cats. Near impossible, all the angles are covered, even smoke is down, you cannot hold the site better than that, and the clock is ticking. Nicer Dicer, a nice head peek here, but instead his head gets peeked off by Kitty Cat's vicious AK. And she also beats Landlord, almost gets killed. But it shall not be. 10-8, so the set ends 2-1 for the cats. GG, well played everybody, it was a lot of fun. I think these games were really good, and yeah, we had a lot of good situations here. Thank you all for playing and watching. I hope you have a good rest of the evening. I shall see you next time. I don't know when I will cast next, it kind of depends on when the games are and when I'm available, but I will try to do when I can. GG's, and until then.